Hey everybody, welcome to the inaugural episode of the vgfcast. I'm Ryan and I'm here with Taylor.
Hey.
And Chris.
Hello.
So on this podcast, we're going to talk about games.
Whoop whoop.
Because we like games. So we thought we would start our little podcast with what we like to call a moment's grievance. And so we're each going to take just a minute or two to...
No two. We're timing it. You've got 1 minute.
1 minute. 1 minute, basically, to be a little bee and whine about something.
Because we just want to get it out of the way, just so that we can be mostly bee-proof later. Not going to promise anything, but the most of our whining.
So we'll start with the biggest whiner of all. That's Chris.
Whoop, whoop.
That's
Chris,
me.
what do you have for us?
All right. Rainbow Six Siege, of course. It's the best game ever, but you got to whine about lag compensation lately. It's been absolute. Are we recording, timing this, by the way? And
Oh,
my
yeah.
time
Your
ticking
time's
right
ticking
now
down.
as I'm asking this? Okay, good. So you get behind corners. This happens all the time. You get behind a corner, and it doesn't matter if it's... I mean, the higher they're ping, the more advantage they have. You get behind a corner, you still get shot, and because how the headshots work in the game is it's still, you have to one-shot kill, so you just feel so gypped. Like it's in Call of Duty, you get behind a corner, you still get shot, you're like, oh, that's garbage, but Call of Duty is, you regen your health, you're not going to die in one shot. With Rainbow Six Siege, the bullets, one hit can kill you, and so it's such a huge thing for their, lag compensation to work that way, it sucks. And
Yeah,
it's
and when you're dead, you're dead.
Exactly, yeah, and, Reddit complains about it all the time. They don't even, have it anywhere in their known issues or, anything about that ever, and they don't even comment on those. I mean, I don't know what they would say, but it's just that's what bugs me. That's what's been bugging me this week.
Things that only
Yeah,
matter
I'm
to
talking
really good players. Oh, man, I got killed. Every time I die, I'm like,
true.
yep, that was justified. Yeah, I totally deserve to die.
I think it's garbage every time I die, but not because I'm good.
That's true. Ryan's catchphrase is, oh, that's garbage. Oh, that's garbage.
Every time.
Every time.
I only say it 5 times a match because I die 5 times a match. All right, Taylor, hit us with what you got.
Well, I'm a little nervous because I'm going to start going, and both of you are going to be like, dude, you can totally do this. But Windows, you've got 2 monitors open. You know the whole beautiful snap to the side thing? I hate that I cannot snap to the inside border where, the 2 monitors meet. Drives me batty. I don't know how.
You totally can.
Oh, my gosh. How do you do it? I'm blowing up my mic. I
Well-
need to calm down. How do I do this?
Well, for
Windows
one thing,
key
you can use the
left.
keyboard, and that's really
What?
easy. You just do the Windows key.
What?
Windows key
Yeah.
plus arrows.
Yeah. It just snaps all
Why
over.
have I? You know, the worst.
You can hear Taylor's keys right now.
Okay, here's the other thing. When I keep thinking, oh, I should Google this, and then don't, and then make a fool of myself. Just Google everything, you moron. Okay, well,
It's
my
true.
moment of grievance is now a happy thing, but also I'm mad at myself.
Can you grieve that you have Camden disease, where you don't Google things before you
Which
ask?
is so funny because 90% of the time I do. Part of it is that my moment of grievance was going to be Donald Trump related, but then podcast, politics, whatever.
Yeah, let's keep that out of the podcast.
Exactly. And so it's like, oh, this really pisses me off now that it works. Okay, well, my moment is finished.
I'm glad we could actually get something positive out of a moment's
I
grievance.
know, right?
That was awesome.
Oh, I feel settled and a little angry, but it is totally a Camden effect.
It totally is. So we have this friend Camden who we'll probably reference a lot, and it's just funny because he'll just ask questions without taking time to think about the possible solution, and so they come out as dumb questions, but he's not a dumb guy, so it's really funny.
That's the best part is he's freaking brilliant. He's a genius.
Right.
But it's just like, hey, how do I save as something? What?
why are you asking that in text? Why don't you just type it in Google?
It would have literally been easier just to Google that. Although
It literally takes 0.037 seconds. It tells you.
I don't have very much ground to stand on as I just did that, but still.
That's true.
Oh, man.
All right, guys. So you want to hear what's been pissing me
I'm
off
ready for
lately?
the moment of grievance.
Yes.
Freaking Xbox. Okay. background, I've been a huge Xbox fan since like 2001, like Halo 1 days. So pretty much my entire teenage adult life, been a huge Xbox fan. I buy a freaking Xbox One, mostly for Master Chief Collection. So there's my first disappointment.
Bingo.
Right? And then like Halo 5 kind of sucks. Like it's all right, but the campaign sucks, and that's why I buy Halo 4. And now all the Xbox games are coming to Windows anyway. So why do I need an Xbox One? Like they just announced that what game was it? The new Remedy game, the ones that made Alan Wake. Shoot, what's it called?
Google.
Google?
Dang it.
Oh, I see. You're going to Google it. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, Google it for me, Chris. But it's Quantum Break. Quantum Break. Yeah, so that's coming to Windows 10. The Gears of War HD re-release just came to Windows 10. Forza's coming to Windows 10. So pretty much every Xbox One exclusive is now on Windows 10.
Forza's going to Windows?
Yeah, so I have no reason to own an Xbox One. Then add to that my disk drive broke on my Xbox One after not using it at all because Master Chief Collection doesn't even work, so why would I use it? And if I want to get it fixed, it's going to cost me $120 because the warranty expires after 1 year. 1 year!
It's a good moment of
They
grievance.
guarantee this console for 1 year.
Oh, man. By twist of fate that I ended up with a PS4, I'm just happy.
A free PS4.
I know.
Man, you lucked
It
out.
sounds like one of those scammy things, but I literally got a free PS4. Amazing.
It was pretty amazing. But yeah, that's my moment of grievance. So I'm not an Xbox hater by any means. I love Xbox. I love their properties. But I'm just so sick of my Xbox One. I don't like it very much.
For a good reason.
For very good reasons.
Chris, do you like yours? Worth the purchase?
I barely use it, actually.
If Master
It's
Chief
not in,
Collection
like,
would have
a
panned
while.
out, like if Master Chief Collection would have been as good as it should have been and as it had every right to be, then I wouldn't regret it for a second, even if that was the only game I
You'd be
played.
singing a different tune right now.
Yeah, but
I'd end up with
they blew
an
it.
Xbox One as well.
And they didn't fix it.
Yeah, it's still not fixed. People are still complaining about that.
Which brings us to our first topic of the day. So kind of what we're going to do for this podcast is we're just going to talk about what we're playing at the time, whatever that may be. So, and you can always follow us on VG Fiasco, or you can follow Chris over at The Just Hello on YouTube. And yeah, we're just going to talk about like what we've been playing because that's what we like to talk about.
Shocker.
So right now it's Rainbow Six Siege, and we're going to talk about patch 2.2, which just came out this week. So Chris, you were pretty disappointed with patch 2.2, weren't you?
It was so lame.
Oh my gosh.
There was nothing in it that was like, oh yes, this is so exciting. It was just like, okay, cool. Like,
So-
I mean,
So you're
like,
expecting
what
something
did they
more
fix?
out of it.
yeah, they didn't. Yeah.
Well, they just fixed a lot
Anything-
of granular
Much
bugs,
more.
stuff that I don't think you'd notice most of the time.
Right.
And the problem is there's some things that they fix that they don't put in the notes, which makes sense. Some games do that. I mean, the games that I played previously don't do that at all, which would be games like Minecraft, Counter-Strike, and Heroes of the Storm. They put literally everything. Their patch notes were amazing. But most games don't do that. But then there's things that are in their patch notes that say they fixed that they didn't fix, like, and you die by it. Like they said, 2.1, they said they fixed the reinforcement. You can put up a reinforcement, you won't get shot through it. That doesn't work. You still get shot through putting up a
Have
reinforcement.
we verified
happened.
that like you
And-
can't shoot them in the feet? Is it only where the reinforcement is? Does it like move up, or is it?
Yeah, so even if you like are about to be done, you can still shoot them like in their feet, like and the whole thing's almost
Oh,
done.
that's dumb.
Yeah, I've
Like,
I've
it
I've
doesn't
been
work
shot when they're doing the final, like where they're pushing the lever up. I've been shot doing that, but then you never know. Like, does your vision line up with what's actually
What they're seeing, right?
right? Like, so
Back
it's,
to
it's
lag
tricky.
comp.
Yeah, but I've seen like people have done tests where they watch on their screen their friend put it up through like a hole in
Oh,
the
yeah.
wall, and then they shoot them at their feet when it's like pretty much done. And they still get hit, but. Okay,
That's
that,
annoying.
and then there's like, also they said they fixed the clipping of the guns through the walls, and then the other day I get killed because my gun's sticking through a barricade. And
Yep,
was like, "Are
I
you
remember that.
serious?
You were pretty
guys just
upset.
said you fixed that. What?
You were pretty upset.
It was so stupid. Oh.
All right, so let's run down the highlights of what they did do. So they added a report button. That's
oh my
cool.
gosh.
That is
brilliant.
cool.
Although
That's good.
I've already been reported once, which if any of you have seen me play, it's freaking hilarious. He's just going off in chat after two kind of questionable things. But I mean, it's a one-shot headshot. It's easy to get lucky in this game, right?
And there's drone spots and there's cameras.
Oh my gosh,
and
it's
like,
so
there's so
hard
many
to
ways.
know, right? So he's
Yeah.
freaking out, and I'm like, dude, just look at my stats. If I'm a hacker, I got gypped. Like, there's no way that... it's just bad. Anyways.
It was.
But the report button, good thing.
It is a good thing. I wish it was more in depth, though. I wish it was more like you press report and there's like a second menu where you can report for suspicious behavior, unsportsman teammate, stuff like that, like cheat, griefing, exploiting.
Yeah, I kind of wish that every game had some kind of way to report bad players and police that a little bit.
Not necessarily like cheaters, but like bad behavior, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So annoying.
People just being douches.
Absolutely. There should just be a DB button.
This guy's a douchebag.
Report, vote kick, DB button. You know, a DB button could be part of the vote kick. I don't care, whatever it is.
That should be like an internet-wide button.
The internet wouldn't exist if there was a DB button.
That's so true. Chris would
Button
get
on
kicked
the
off the
keyboard.
internet so
Chris
fast.
wouldn't have even been allowed on in the first place.
No, that's why you got multiple accounts.
I know. This guy with his 10 Reddit accounts so he can bolster himself and flame other people.
Oh my
works.
gosh, it's so funny.
It's just the best when,
But-
like, his post first goes up, and then there's, like, 7 comments already, and I'm going down. I'm like, this is all freaking Chris. What a moron.
So I kind of wonder, like, so we should clarify. We play Siege on PC, and so I kind of wonder if like the community is any better on consoles just because they have like system-wide reporting features.
So I've heard on consoles they have more of a problem with team killing and stuff, but much less of a problem with actual hacking, which we've run into like twice on PC.
Yeah, that's always a
apparently
PC
in-
problem.
ranked games. Once you get higher up, it's just like you can't even play it because of all the hackers.
But
That's
it's
a
so
shame.
hard, though, because Ryan's exactly right. If a team is working together, like if they've got a pre-made of 5, they're actually getting drone spots and everything. It's so hard to say when somebody's cheating and when somebody's just playing exceptionally well.
Right.
Yes, yeah, but then you get the kill cam and you see that their shot like snaps to your head.
Yeah,
and
that's
like,
annoying.
well,
I got you.
Definitely. I'm that leads us to our next thing, which I'm really happy about, which is the introduction of kill cam to ranked.
I like it.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. There's a lot of people that hate it, but then you say, "What about that splash screen that shows you everything already?" And they're like, "Well, yeah."
Yeah, the
Yeah.
way I see it, yeah, like you already get enough information from the way they had it previously with the splash screen that shows where you are in the map. It shows you the gun and everything. Like, kill cam's not adding anything more. And additionally, like, from the time you get killed to the time you see the end of the kill cam, it's like a 10-second delay.
Yeah.
So you can't even like necessarily say, "Oh, he's right here." That's where he was 10 seconds ago. You know.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
And usually the times I'm watching the kill cam is the time when it's like a roamer killed me because I know the guy behind the desk. I know he killed me. I know
Right.
where he was. It's a roamer
Right.
that usually kills me, so they're never there for 10 seconds after that. And it's like
Definitely.
their reason for not having it in ranked was dumb in the first place. It wasn't to keep you away from information. It was because they thought it was like a learning thing for new players. They wanted to teach new players how you died. It's like, I still want to see how I died.
Right. And
Like-
and we've from experience, we've had at least 2 times that I know of that we've spotted hackers because of a kill cam.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Blatant hackers, not
So-
just us being whiny poops.
Right.
Yeah, video
Like,
evidence.
but you couldn't tell until you saw the kill cam, and you're like, okay, yeah, that's fishy.
Yeah.
Not counting the game where we all got DDoSed and just bounced instantly.
Which
Gosh.
that was one of the hackers.
That was so annoying.
I am CQ.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's after we confronted him on it. Man.
But yeah. So next, so Glaz, pressing the gadget key while carrying secondary weapon does not switch scope on and off fixed.
Okay, first of
So
all.
basically-
go ahead.
Yeah. So just go ahead and explain that for us, Taylor. What that means.
Okay, so you've got Glaz. You hit your special action button. He flips over his sight, right? So what they fixed, supposedly this is a bug, if you have your secondary weapon out and you click your special key, your flip sight will flip on or off. which in my
Right.
mind is the dumbest thing ever. If you're
Yeah.
freaking holding a pistol or have a grenade in your hand and you click your special button, it's like, oh, here, I've got the spoon engaged on this grenade. I'm looking at it, but I think I'm just going to flip my sight really quick just in case. Okay, now time to throw the grenade. Dumb. You wouldn't.
The side of your rifle that's presumably like on your back.
Exactly. Like, in what universe does.
And what doesn't make sense, like, that just doesn't go with the game at all because you can't even switch weapons while you're sprinting.
Yes.
So how am I holding a pistol and I'm able to flip my sight like with my toe or something, but I can't run and switch my guns? Like, come
I
on.
freaking
This
cancel
is ridiculous.
probably 5,000 reloads a session by hitting sprint too early. It always happens because I'm a moron and I can't get it down. Why? Why, if you're going to do that to me every time, are you going to let me flip my sight? Dumb.
What I hate the most about that is it's most of the time it's like when I empty a clip and so he has to like pull back the
Yeah.
The bolt.
yeah, he has to pull back the bolt again, so I missed that part and it's like, why are you putting in another mag again? Just save that last bit. Just
Yeah.
pull it back.
Yeah.
Like, don't make me do the whole thing.
Yeah.
Freak.
I hate that.
That's what I really like about Battlefield. You can sprint and reload. It's like, that's awesome.
I know. Oh yeah, Battlefield. Is it just Battlefield 4 or was it Battlefield 3 too?
I think Battlefield 3 did that as well.
Yeah, it's really
I can't
convenient.
remember.
It's convenient. I don't
But-
mind that you can't do that because I can imagine, like, you're running away from some guy shooting at you and you're trying to reload at the same time. Doesn't really make sense. But why not be consistent through the whole game? Like, oh, hey, I've got buck shotgun. I'm just going to switch to my rifle while holding this. Dumb.
Yeah.
Exactly.
This is more of a
Yeah, I'm
minute's
with you, though.
grievance than my minute's grievance.
It was. You should have picked
I know,
that.
Dave.
But I'm totally with you. Like Battlefield's a whole different animal. The maps are so huge and everything that like stopping you from sprinting is kind of a headache.
Oh my gosh, it'd take you 10 minutes to get anywhere if you were always reloading like that.
Yeah. All right. So the rest of this isn't super exciting. Spawning location tweaks. I think everybody's happy about that. They fixed like some easy spawn kills.
Chris might not be.
Those were good.
He just lost.
Hey, it was great. Those first 2 days where the patch wasn't out, that was like the guide to spawn killing on every map that I didn't know. And it was like, okay, I'm in this spot. I look at this post that they just put out, and I'm like, all right, I just need to be right here. Sure enough, that whole day, that did
Five
great. It was a great day.
Gilbert.
Oh,
5
good.
garbage kills around.
It was like the perfect blueprint to spawn killing until they changed
The
it.
perfect blueprint. to
Oh, it was great.
spawn
Oh my gosh.
It was absolutely
Raj is
fantastic.
turning
That's a DB
over in
button
his
right there.
grave.
Oh
Weren't they
man.
kicking people out of their clan for spawn killing?
On their team.
I think they were. I don't know. AG was telling us something about it the other day where, I don't know, that was a mess anyway, so.
Very interesting.
15-year-olds clans.
Oh yes.
We've all done it.
Have we?
I did. StarCraft back in the day, boys.
I did. Minecraft.
I don't think I was ever in a clan, but I was an admin on a CS server.
Oh, boy.
That was fun. It was fun.
It's a
So
moderator
they did
on
some
Minecraft.
level design fixes, mostly on Yacht. Yacht's the new map, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
Spectator mode fixes. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I was afraid for spectator mode. I thought it was gonna kind of go the way of the dodo.
Yeah, I thought it was done for.
I wish we could spectate, like, just matches in general. Like, if you could just spectate a match. I think
That
that'd
would be cool.
Just, like, learn tactics by spectating. I mean, maybe there's some maps, like, higher ranked matches, obviously. Teams don't want to show their tactics and stuff, but
Right.
casual matches.
Maybe,
I don't
maybe
see
if
why
you
not.
could, if there was a preference
that'd be
for
cool.
it, you could turn it on or off.
I'm hoping this leads to actual tournaments. I want to see a good Rainbow Six tournament where they're streaming everything and I can see it and see how it goes and we can start working on ladders or something. I think it'd be sweet.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, the cool thing about this patch is that, like, they even said, I'll read it right here, in the notes, they said patch 2.2's main goal is to ensure a solid competitive experience before the start of the Rainbow Six Pro League.
Oh, cool.
So that's what they're targeting here, which makes a lot of sense why spectator mode had such a huge focus.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
cool. So that's why we're not getting precisely what Chris wants, but we're getting fixes to make the game less embarrassing to show on a national stage.
Yeah, exactly. Big giant screen, 10,000 people at like an invitational.
Yeah.
Glitched out. Oh.
Yeah. Which I have to say, I really think that they've been doing an awesome job supporting this game. Like, there's definitely stuff that I still need fixed and stuff that I want changed, but like, just how much they've been communicating and being engaged with the community and making patches every couple of weeks and detailed patch notes and lists of what they're aware of. Like, this is infinitely better than Master Chief Collection.
You were gonna bring up Master Chief.
You have to. And this game was so much less broken than Master Chief Collection ever was, or still is.
I actually got super annoyed at all the vitriol that was slung at like the developers. It's like, have any of you played a release game? Like, what release game, like big AAA title that has all this intricacy with matchmaking, has ever worked?
Yeah.
Give me one. But
I could give you a few,
okay.
but your point stands. Like, they're few and far between the ones that work flawlessly.
I just hated when people would use CS:GO as like a go-to. It's like CS:GO is a game that's been out for 5 years and was in beta for like 11 months.
Well,
like that game, I don't know, 11 months, but it was in beta for a long time.
And was freaking,
not to mention that it's based on a game from like '98.
Yes, thank you. And if you look at it, I mean, it's cool. I like the idea. I love watching the tournaments and everything. It's complicated, but when it comes to like mechanics and graphics and things like that, there's nothing there.
Yeah,
no.
It's not nearly as in depth with, I mean, reinforcing walls, having operators that can destroy walls from 20 feet away.
Right.
Like.
And they're certainly not really, they're not developing a game. They're just like basically putting it in a new engine, you know? They don't, they're not making any design decisions really.
Right. Exactly.
But anyway, okay, so this one I was actually really excited about. The countdown announcer voice for when he starts saying 15 seconds remaining or 5 or 10 still happens after the diffuser has been planted when the bomb is planted late in the round, and that's been fixed.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So basically what would happen is say there's 15 seconds left and you plant the defusal kit. The announcer, like, that resets the timer basically. Like the original end of round time is totally irrelevant, and what matters now is the bomb's defusal timer. And the announcer would continue to say 10 seconds remaining, 5 seconds remaining. So it puts on this like false sense of pressure that doesn't need to be there and confuses players.
And I think the same thing happened in secure and hostage mode, if I'm correct. Which I hope they fix this as well.
I think those are different. For one thing, like in secure area, the timer still matters. Like whether or not, because if you step off the thing, then you'll lose instantly.
Yeah.
Hostage, I think is kind of the same situation.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah, he can pick it up and put it back down as long as the timer's not out.
Right. So as long as, you have to know the time's up because you can't put the hostage out anymore.
Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah, take that, Chris.
I said that.
But that's good. They're bringing a new game mode, aren't they? In the next
I think so.
Season.
It's probably going to be like hardcore.
Ugh.
I assume.
That would suck.
Yeah, that's not what I'm looking for. That's actually coming up later in one of my things.
Preview. It's okay. So here's the last thing I want to bring up from the patch notes, which I'm actually really sad about. Sledge's hammer will no longer be floating in the air at the end of the round.
I thought that was hilarious.
It's the end of an era.
I know.
Everybody was like, just put it back.
Leave it.
It wasn't game breaking. It was good.
Wait, who's that dead guy over there? Sledge.
Yeah.
But it was
just funny. The other one that I'm.
Does anybody know?
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
The other one I'm sad about is the 0G. That doesn't happen anymore. That was hilarious. When you shoot somebody, if they were like hopping over a vault or something, they just kind of float away.
Oh,
and then they'd fall.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved that.
Yes.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
It was good.
Funny.
Does anybody know if they fixed the same problem for the shields floating?
Probably. I haven't seen that in a very long time, so I assume so. Because I loved that too. Like, you'd look outside and all, like, if you killed their shield repelling operator, their shield was out there, like, spinning.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
It's like, what the frick is going on
Although,
out there?
don't bring up shields right now, because I'm still pissed that every time I get Montaigne, I get that stupid black glitch.
Oh my gosh, why wasn't that fixed?
That's a big thing. That's a real, like, all these little, the yacht now is 2 meters longer. Okay, you have an operator that is not playable because 1/5 of the time you get it, you can't see anything. That's garbage.
Yeah. Your whole shield is just black glass that you can't see through. And here's the thing, like, okay, these yacht fixes, they're important. I get it. Like, but if you're preparing for this pro league, you can have a rule that says if you use that exploit, you're done, you're out, you're disqualified.
Absolutely.
But you can't have a rule that says, game, stop breaking Montaigne's black glass.
Oh, wait, everybody stop. We need to refresh. Montaigne can't see. Oh, so we just don't get to use this strategy we set up. Awesome. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Dumb.
Yep.
Maybe nobody plays Montaigne at the high level. I don't know.
No. Can't be true. Can't be true.
Yeah, we've got some solid Montaigne strats. We need to make a video about that.
Yeah, we should.
It's funny. Somebody made a video the other day about Montaigne, and he's like, in his video, he's like, I haven't even put 1 hour into. I haven't even played Montaigne all the 200 hours I've been playing. I'm like, what? You just said he's awful, but you haven't even played him.
He's
what
awful
where
because
are
I
you?
don't like the idea of I don't want to practice. Practice is dumb.
I'm with that guy. Montaigne and Blitz are awful because I suck at playing shields.
You do suck at playing shields really, really bad.
I just don't know what to do. I'm a shooter.
Yeah, he doesn't like sitting there and taking bullets. It makes him nervous.
Yeah.
Which is funny that I'm good at playing Montaigne because I move around.
You're just too
all
good
the
at this
time.
game. You're annoying.
Well, here's the thing.
Sorry.
When you've played 100, I don't know, what is it, 50, 70 hours now?
Something like that.
Yeah. You should be good at everything, and if you're not, I will laugh at you.
That's a good point.
Granted, when I get to 150 to 70 hours, I'm a perma-noob. There's just no way I'm ever going to be good.
All right, so since Chris was unhappy with the patch, we thought we would go ahead and make some top 3 lists of the three things we most want brought to Siege in an upcoming patch, or things we want fixed. So we're gonna go down. Let's just each do 3 and then 2 and then 1.
Okay.
And we'll talk about that. So I just thought of a different one that I wish I would have switched out, but then I forgot what it was. But hopefully one of you guys brings it up because it was really good. But my number 3 is, okay, this has to be explained a little bit. So sometimes like player animations don't really match up with like what the actual player sees.
Yes.
So like for example, like when you're climbing up over, like when you're rappelling and you're climbing onto the top of a roof, if I'm looking at that player, it looks as if like their arms are occupied, but on their screen they could be aiming down sights the entire time and be able to shoot totally accurately. You know, and so like that needs to match up. Or like I also saw this got me killed the other day. Like a player was laying prone and she was moving. It was Frost. She was moving sideways, and her arms are like doing the sideways crawl animation. But on her screen, she's like aimed down sights right at my face. You know.
So you think you're
So
going to
it's
at
like-
least get a hip fire, a moving
Right.
hip
I'm like,
fire.
oh, yeah. I'm like, I got time to aim because she doesn't have her gun up right now.
Yeah. Exactly.
So that's my number 3.
I completely agree with that, and I feel the need to share. I just had one of those hiccups where like it hurts more than the world. It was awful.
Those just deep hiccups.
Ryan gets that like
Yeah.
once a week.
So
and I just
I heard
laugh.
absolutely nothing you said. I heard absolutely nothing except for that last couple of seconds because I was focused on my chest like compressing in on itself. So just so you know.
You caught the important part.
Well, is that your number 3?
Your number 3 is
no. That is not my
rid of
number
deep
3.
I don't
hiccups.
want any more deep hiccups.
I wish. No, my number 3. That should probably be the one that I want like the least out of these 3.
Yeah.
Which is okay. Well, staying drone from the transition from
Oh my gosh, yes.
That's your number 3?
the preparation.
You must have
phase.
some good
yeah,
ones.
I've got some good ones. From the preparation phase to the action phase, I am so sick of, and I'm sick of the argument against it too. You're like in a drone.
Wait.
you're going,
Explain it a little more thoroughly for those who may not.
Okay. Yes, that's a good point. So Rainbow Six Siege in the preparation phase, we know we have drones, and so when the timer gets down to 0 seconds in the preparation phase, it takes you to your operator, which is fine. You'd think is fine, except when you're in your drone and it's counting down. You got like a person behind you shooting at you, and you're about to like go through a drone hole or something. And all of a sudden the time hits 0 and it brings you to your operator. You just lose control of your drone and they can kill your drone. And which doesn't make sense about this. You can just press 5. You can go right back to control of your drone again.
Right,
So,
and
like-
so it just kicks you out for 2 seconds, and
Usually just long
it's
enough
just
to
like
get
a
blasted.
glitch. Yeah.
It's just so stupid. And the argument, like, for it, like, people all the time, this is on Reddit all the time. I see it on Reddit, and people are like, I don't like it. We shouldn't have this this kicking you out. You should have an option to, like, press 4 or press hold X or something from the transition, like 4 seconds before, and it will keep you in your drone. And the people are like, no, that's stupid. If you're in your drone and you're getting shot at, that's your fault for being in there and getting shot at with a second left. You should find a spot or just decide you don't have time and just hang out outside for 15 seconds.
Right.
That's just stupid.
And so their solution basically is you should keep in mind this arbitrary time constraint and
Man up, pussy.
find a place to hide so that you can get back to control of your drone after this arbitrary limitation.
Which, if you think about it,
Yeah.
hey, I'm X operator, I'm whatever, and I'm in my drone. Oh no, it's about to get shot. Wait, the time's ready. I gotta look up. Like, why would they do that? It doesn't make any sense. Like, oh, this is totally intense moment, but all my friends are leaving, so I better leave too. Dumb.
Yeah,
It's very silly.
What's also silly is you turn around, like, sometimes I'll, like, go and I'm like, where is everybody? And I turn around, they're still on their phones. Like, they all went back to their drone. It's like, this is so dumb. They're all just going to go back to their drone anyway. And,
Yeah.
like, half the time I'm already in a spot, and then somebody sees me at, like, the last second, but I can't move.
One of the
Right.
arguments I
Probably
hear all the
0
time is like, well, they don't want people just dicking around on their drones. They want them actually going and doing something. It's like, okay, clearly going and shooting people, playing the objective is way more fun than just jumping around on the drone trying not to die. But it's like super important. It's not going to slow the game down. If you haven't found it yet, why are you kicking me out?
Go back to it anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Well, and for one thing, like, that point's kind of moot because you can hop back on the drone if you want to anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Who is in a bad spot or who hasn't found the objective and it's like, forget it. I'm already here. I'm just going to start running. No, all you do 5. You're back in.
Yeah.
Dumb.
Yeah, it's dumb. And we should clarify, like, we're not saying that, like, everybody should stay in their drone until they pop themselves out. What we're saying is, like, you should have the option to, like, I don't know, hold spacebar or something to stay in your drone, and then you'll stay.
Yeah.
That's the jump key, so probably not spacebar, but
Yeah, probably not.
But something.
one of the like 50 keys on my keyboard.
Yeah, there's like 100 keys to choose from. So
Yeah, just some toggle key. Tilde.
there you go.
Boom. Tilde. All
right, Taylor, hit us with number 3.
Okay. My mild grievance here, things I want to see. The tactical board. Such a cool idea.
Yes.
Such a cool idea. Because we sit there and we talk through things. But, one, Chris has played a crazy amount, and so he knows all of the actual names for it. Whereas I just have, hey, it's the party room and consulate where all the lights are flashing. I don't know what that room is actually called, right? But there's no, like, man, give me like a Google Doc type experience where we can all be on there and editing points and paths and everything, especially for somebody like Camden. We got our buddy Camden who comes on every Friday who plays with us, but that's about it. He will never play enough to know, especially the new maps, what we're talking about strategy-wise. Mm-hmm. I understand that, yeah, that's not super important for competitive use, but I would love if the tactical board was implemented further. We would be more tactical. We would treat the game like the developers envisioned when they started it.
Right. I don't know if you've seen it, but they have made an update to the tactical board fairly recently. I haven't really looked at it since the update because it was so clunky the first time that I tried that I just don't even care.
So the biggest difference is if you get in, it's less clunky. Being the operative word. I'm like 75% of the time can get into it now. Camden never has been able to. Every time he tries to load it up, it just crashes for him.
It just takes forever.
It's just so long where it's like, okay, so it might work better, but it's still unusable.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyways.
It would be great if they had something akin to the Battlefield 4 where you could pull up the map in a browser and it was a live map. Like,
yes.
Oh my
you could
gosh.
see- That was
was
so
so
amazing.
cool.
Which, of course, I'm not saying I want a live map in Siege, but
Yeah.
they could at least give us some kind of static thing or whatever.
Even though a live map would be sweet. Pull up a live map, draw your course that you're taking, and so somebody can, like... Anyways. This is what I'm planning to do instead of trying to give like all these. I'm going to take a left at the armor room, which is southwest, and then take a right into the chapel thing where all the speakers are.
Yep, I'm with you.
That's my hope.
All right, number 2s. This is my number 2, guys. It's a good one. Adjust my loadout between games.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Why? Why can't I switch scopes between games? Why do I have to back entirely out, go into these super clunky PC menus that were clearly built for a controller?
Yes.
And like it seriously takes like 7 clicks to get in and change an operator's like any scope or other attachment.
Yeah.
Like it's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
Especially when you're going from a map like Plain to Oregon. Like, I don't want an ACOG on Plain every time. Most of the time, it's a detriment more than it is a help. But in Oregon, if you don't have an ACOG on, you're in trouble. Like, you're not. They're going to kill you every time before you see them. So let me switch it back and forth. Or, especially with lasers. There are times when I want a laser on it, but I never equip a laser because if we're going from game to game to game to game, I don't want that liability.
Right. Like with Fuse, for example, if I'm going to do Fuse Shield, I'm going to want the laser on that pistol, but otherwise I don't want it.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and like with such a tactical game, how are they not allowing you to choose your loadout for specific situations?
I'm kind of okay. A lot of people have talked about wanting like to be able, like in Battlefield, where you can toggle your laser on and off. I'm totally fine with it being stuck for a round because I mean it's a game of checks and balances. You do this, you're going to get this benefit, but it's going to hurt you in this way. I'm fine for that being an entire round. But in between rounds, come on.
Yeah. All right, Chris, number 2.
Number 2, buff Tachanka.
Oh
That's
my
number
gosh,
2. I can't even like, okay.
Quick
People
pause.
have complained about that.
I think we're. Remember when we said we weren't going to be whiny? We totally lied to everybody. Anyways, play.
Sorry.
No, I'm.
Too bad. I'm so sad. Buff Tachanka is something that people have complained about literally since the ability to play Tachanka in the open beta. And people have been like, oh, it's way too hard to place this gun. I've seen so many like videos on YouTube, posts on Reddit, posts on the Ubisoft forums.
I've made a
people
few
talking
myself.
about it in-game.
I think we all have.
Like, me too. Yeah. I'm so sick of it. Like, you can't put the freaking turret down where you want. You have to put it down in this huge open area for an operator that's a sitting duck on a freaking turret, and he can't get off the turret. It's not like you press a V and you're off of it, like, automatically. It takes you a second to get off of it, so you can't even move. If you're in a problem, like, he needs a buff, and everybody agrees that he needs a buff. And then patch 2.0 comes out, and they buff Sledge. Just like nobody complained about Sledge.
Sledge was
great. I mean, I love the buff. I think it's awesome. I think that definitely is a good thing that they did. But why? Why buff Sledge when nobody even like said a word about him? But everybody's complaining about Tachanka and Capcan and IQ, but you don't do anything to them.
Yeah.
Like,
to be fair, buffing Sledge is literally changing a number from like 3 to 2 or something. You know.
That's true. Probably. Yeah.
But I imagine that Tachanka's thing is just a radius. I imagine all they have to do is shrink the circle.
Well, I feel like his problems are deeper rooted than that, and it's sort of like how the game engine works. Like everything's kind of janky, putting up reinforcements and you know, all that stuff. Like it's all kind of janky and
systems.
Right, and it just falls in the same kind of jank.
Makes sense.
Yep.
But I mean, like it's just super bad for Tachanka because you also have to consider like you can't really set it up during the prep phase because the drones are going to see it and then it's useless.
Yeah, if they see it, you're done.
You know, so like you can find where you want to do it, but even then, like it takes a minute to get it down, and if you don't get it exactly right, you have to pick it back up and try again. Like it's bad.
Yeah, and there's some spots that you can get it that are awesome spots, but there's just this tiny little spot that you can get it in.
And you spend the first 30 seconds of the action phase like trying to put it down before they come.
And by the time you get it down, they're coming
Yeah.
through the freaking windows. You got Fuse cluster charging you. It's like, oh.
That is the story of my Tachanka play. The second I like finally place it, I scream in jubilation. I do a little jig, and then I'm hitting F to like get on the gun, and I hear toon 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 toon. It's like, "Osh!" And then of course it takes like forever to get off the gun to run away.
And this is not like when we were complaining about Glaz before he came out, like, oh, he's gonna suck. Like, no, Glaz is actually pretty good, but this is like we've played this operator. We've had the game for like 3-4 months now, almost 4 months. 3 months.
No, like
We've
3
had
months.
this game for 3 months now, and I've played that operator for like 15 hours, and I still think he's awful.
Yeah, and
Like,
like I really
still,
liked
it's not
Tachanka when he
like-
came out.
Yeah,
He's fun.
It's
It's
not
a
like
great ability. It's a
we-
fun ability.
just
Yeah.
can't learn how to use him. It's literally that he has a problem.
And we're not even totally saying like he needs a buff. We're mostly just saying he needs a fix. Like,
Yeah.
he just needs to be able to use his gun in the way it was
Let
intended.
him put it in a corner.
Yeah.
Like, let him hide. He's so open. Let him hide. Because
Yeah.
you can still frag him. There's always a thermite, and there's usually a sledge. So there's usually 4 frag grenades rolling around in that game. He should be
Not
able
to
just
mention
to hide.
fuse.
Yeah, exactly.
And Ash.
Yeah. Because if he gets
Yeah.
too close to a wall, you could just blow his face off with one of her grenades.
Breach charge.
Yeah, and there's always flashbangs and shields, and so there's plenty of counters to Tachanka.
I can see why they
Yeah.
would have been nervous about that. Somebody just holing up in like some random corner where they're protected on 3 sides and then just like looking at the objective. But still, there's ways around that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like attacking a shield operator. Everybody thought they were super OP, which in the closed beta with those headshots, they
Ooh,
were kind of crazy.
I missed the closed beta.
freak. Oh, those
So much
headshots.
blitz.
But people learned how to play them. You learn to either have C4 or to work around it. You don't just take a shield one-on-one.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, Taylor, hit us with number 2.
My number 2 is I want to see some new game modes. I'm not saying that I don't like the game modes that we have, especially when you actually play the objective. Super fun. Like, I think they're all great. There's some I love more than others, but I'm excited to see what they come up with, like a VIP or I don't even know what they do, but destroying multiple objectives, I'm excited.
Yeah, definitely.
Just to throw a different set of rules into the mix, like you have to destroy A and then you have to destroy B, and so they can fall back and like cluster in one room, like just instead of getting in these ridiculous firefights that okay, they're gonna plant on A, everybody rush it. No, like
Yeah.
like okay, they're gonna get A. We've still got 3 of us, even though there's 4 of them. Let's pull back to B and let's hold out.
Yeah, and one cool, awesome game mode I've seen is, VIP, where you have a VIP that you're
Yeah,
protecting from them trying to kill.
basically a moving objective.
But then you can move the VIP, which would be so freaking awesome. I just thought about it. Like, you don't have to. You can hold up on one room, reinforce it all, make them think you're there, and then pick him up and move him like in a completely opposite side of the map. Put him in some random closet and barricade him off, and then just like you can all still be up there, and they won't even know where he is.
Yeah,
It's
and thinking about like the
so
setups you could
much
do with
fun.
that, like you could seriously set up some major traps, like have Tachanka set up in a corner, and run the VIP by. They have to follow
real
you.
traps.
Yeah.
Like actual,
Yeah.
just not like putting a capcan on there to either deter them, slow them down, or hope they magically hit it. Like, oh, hey, they think he's in here. Catch him
Yeah.
on the back. Yeah, that would be fun.
I think that would be such a fun game mode.
I
That'd
could
be
see where that would be hard to balance because, okay, they just go, they put him in the freezer, and then they just barricade the shiz out of that and then trap everything, and then they're all just camping in there. I could see
It'd
how
be
that
hard if
gets
it was
stale.
like, it'd be very difficult if it was like something like an objective. But the thing is, you could just kill him, so you just throw a frag in there and it's over.
Oh, that's a good
Montaigne,
point.
baby.
Montaigne.
Montaigne just walks in. Who cares?
They just rig up C4 onto his shield.
Yes. Oh yes.
All right, are we back to me
We're
already?
back.
Yeah.
All right, my number 1 is already taken. It's staying drones on the prep phase. That's the number 1 thing I want, guys.
I want it.
It's a
I
good
want
one.
it so bad.
Yeah.
It is a good. And it was Chris's number 3. So Chris, what do you have for number 1?
Yeah.
My number 1, voting and casual.
Oh, of course. I knew this was going to
That's
happen.
been my number 1. That's been my number 1 forever.
Yeah.
Since the beginning of time, I've wanted that. And
Okay, so voting and casual used to exist in the closed beta.
I think in all the
Right?
betas, wasn't
it?
Open, I
Came
don't
out
think
the
it
No,
was
open.
not
beta.
open.
Yeah.
Technical test was there too.
it? Can we have an
Okay, so
Can we have an honorable mention for the timeline too while we're talking about that?
Oh,
Kill
yeah.
timeline. That was
That
awesome.
was,
that's what I thought you were talking about at first when you said the tactical thing.
oh yeah.
But yeah, like at the end of the round, it would show you like when everybody died and by whom. That was so cool.
That was cool.
That was cool.
But you know that 15 seconds slowed down the game for all those Battlefront folk.
So,
Jerks.
Chris, do you want to give the arguments for voting in casual, or has it been done to death? Just search
I'll
Reddit.
do it again. I'll do it for the 150th time for the people that still don't agree.
Oh, man.
Okay, make it quick. Just do it bullet list.
All right. So, voting in casual, it's not there, according to Ubisoft, it's not there because it makes it easier to learn the maps with random spawns. We know that's not true. It's so much more difficult to learn the maps. I had such a hard time. I still am learning Oregon, and I played the game for, I'm level 117, so I played the game for like 150 hours or something. And there's still rooms in Oregon that I'm like, wait, hold on, where am I? In Clubhouse, the same way. Like, if I could see a map when I open the game, or when we get to a map, if I could see a map and like click a location and like defend that area and then go to another area and learn that area, like I could learn it so much better. And when I go to ranked and I look at it, it's like I don't know what I'm doing because in casual, all this time I spent there trying to practice, I don't learn anything about these locations, so I don't know how to defend them.
Dude,
still.
just play ranked.
And then like
Just play ranked, man.
Search random spawns faster learning on YouTube. We got a video all about why that's false.
yeah, it's still not true. And then people want it not in casual because people are going to pick the same location over and over again, which is, I mean, if people want to pick that, that's the majority.
Which
but
already happens.
Whatever.
Like, you'll
Yeah.
get into a, quote, random spawn location in a casual game, and you'll play just the worst objective that nobody likes attacking or defending because it's just not fun.
Yeah.
And you'll play it like 4 out of 5 matches.
Yeah, and you play it all the time. And then the thing is now they changed it like ranked voting. They have a limitation where once you win an objective defending, you don't get to defend that objective anymore. So I think that in casual completely like eliminates that argument against it. But people still say they're still just going to defend the best 2 objectives or we're never going to see the other ones. It's like, well, then people don't want to play the other ones. If they're not voting for the other ones, they don't want to play them.
Yeah, if you want to see the
So
other one,
why-
vote for it.
Yeah, you do it.
There's all you people out there saying that you want to do that. Get together and vote then. And if you don't win the vote, then the majority doesn't want to do that.
But I want to
Like,
win.
sorry.
I want to win.
Yeah.
You're in
And then
freaking
people
casual.
are like, oh, go to ranked then. It's like, it's a game. Like, games are meant to be won and lost.
Yeah.
That's
the thing
why.
that bugs me most about the go to casual thing is like, or go to ranked, is that like this game is meant to be played tactically. You know, like it's specifically designed to be played in a tactical manner. And even if you're in casual, you still want to be able to make a decent plan. Like, hey, we're going to choose this objective and let's barricade this stuff and let's reinforce this stuff and we're going to always set up here. Like, that's just a
Yeah.
basic strategy. That's not anything complicated at all.
Yeah, and I want to know, too, like, I want to know, do I want castle or not? And I pick castle and casual, and I end up in a basement. It's like, well, I don't want castle.
Yeah, Castle's worthless at
here.
this
I don't
point.
even know.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
I think
And that's the worst
that's
part.
just awful.
I think there are operators like Castle who would get used more. It's just not worth the risk to be completely worthless to the team. When if you know,
Right.
oh my gosh, this is the perfect Jaeger. Like we can totally save whatever. But
Yeah.
just dumb.
Why do that when you can just play Rook every time, who's always useful?
Exactly. Anyways,
And so this is sort of why I've lost my
Zeal.
my thing of wanting voting in casual. Is like if they'll just tell us where we're gonna spawn and let us choose the right operators for defense, I'd be fine. Like that's enough. And they said they were gonna do
Yeah.
that when they made the change, but they never did.
No, it was like, oh no, this is what we meant. We just showed you what round you're going to be on. Like, what? That's not what you said.
Yeah. So if you want to know more on that, just search Reddit for like spawn voting casual, and you will find lots of
See a
topics.
billion
Many of them
posts.
made by us.
yeah.
If you see one
And
by
my
Just Hello and
alternate
has
accounts.
50 comments all agreeing with him, you know how that works.
Yeah, Chris has made one that kind of conglomerated all of them into one post.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
So,
Yeah.
all right, Taylor.
There's been some recently, too, that have actually been backed by pretty much everybody, like 95% upvoted and stuff. So now it's like people actually do want it, but I just wish
Yeah.
they'd say, no, we're not going to do that, or, yeah, we're thinking
I think
about
by
that.
ignoring you for the past 3
something.
months, it's pretty much don't do that.
Yeah, they've made it pretty clear they're not going to do anything about
Hey,
it.
hey,
Oh,
Just
no.
Hello. We don't
I
care.
don't believe. I do not believe. I will try
I
forever.
will continue. Okay, my number one.
All right, Taylor.
I want a more transparent ranking system. I want to know, like, okay, if I win this next game, like, how many games am I to hitting the next level? So you've got things like Rocket League,
Yeah.
Dota, League of Legends. You've got like MMR. I want a number associated. Okay, great.
Yeah.
I know I'm a silver 1, a silver 5, a bronze star medallion bedazzled with jewels, whatever. I want to know what it takes to get to the next one. Give me a short number. And I don't know if it's based on their ranking system where they're trying to keep like a bell curve, so many people in so many ranks. But it's annoying just like winning or losing and just being like tossed into the fate of this unknowable system and just wondering where you're going to fall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I really do like how it works in Rocket League or Heroes of the Storm, where I played ranking that way, where it would show you a number and then you like get up and then it would take you to the next rank.
Yeah, I mean, we played a ton of Rocket League, and when you wrecked somebody, you're like, oh, they must be a lower rank than us, and you'd only go up 3 or 4 points, right? Or you destroy somebody by like, I mean, you just barely squeak out a win. It's like, holy cow, I went up 15 points. This is fantastic. I'm all for that, but just show me a little bit more of the machine.
Yeah, less black box would be nice.
Yeah.
I also wish there was they made it more obvious when you change ranks. Like right now, you don't even know.
Yeah.
Like you barely even notice when you change.
Oh, I noticed when you fell to bronze and me and Taylor were still
Whoop,
silver.
whop. That's the best part. I don't know how this is
I just
happening.
wish it would like bring up a screen and just be like D-ranked and then like show your rank flip to something else, or like rank up and it shows it flip from silver to gold.
I wish
Something,
they
don't
would
know.
play the Battlefield Friends noob.
Yeah, absolutely. That'd be fantastic.
If you've played Battlefield before and you haven't seen Battlefield Friends, YouTube that right now.
We just made your
Actually,
day.
finish this podcast and then do it.
I don't even support that. Just quit and go look it up because
Just
it's.
do it now. But come back.
Come back.
to it.
Man, all this talk about rank is making me sad about it. We gotta focus more. We gotta pay more attention. We get too lackadaisical.
I know. Casual just got
Yeah.
so easy that we started getting casual about it.
Weird how that works.
Yep.
Yeah. But nobody brought up the thing that I thought of and can't remember, so hopefully I'll think of it later. I'll write it down, bring it up in another podcast.
I'm pretty sure it was how to get your windows to snap to the inside frame on Windows 10. I think that was it. You probably just just Googled it beforehand.
Would you just take your mouse and like try to get it to click on that inside?
No, what you do, the easiest way is just if
you
you
can do
snap to the right side, then the left side will automatically like auto-populate all your other open windows and like basically say, hey, which one do you want to fill in here? There's
also a way to make the side sticky with the mouse too.
Oh, really? Oh, wait, I have that.
Yeah,
where
it's
I
some
just
option.
drag it over.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Anyways.
So then what were you complaining about?
Oh, wait, you're talking the inside seam?
Yeah.
Well, I got to find that. That sounds fantastic.
Yeah, there's an option for that. It's also kind of
yeah, I
annoying
can
though,
do that.
because sometimes you'll get it when you don't
When
want
you're
it.
trying to slide it through. Well, now that there's a hotkey
Right.
for it, I'm just going to go Google it and everything will be better.
There
I'm
you
a
go.
moron.
All right, so let's get off the Siege train for now. We love you, Siege. But
good
the
game.
other thing we've been playing recently is Don't Starve Together.
Freak, I love that game so much. I can't even handle
Taylor
it.
got us into this.
I know. I got us into a game. Can you believe it?
I'm proud
I
of
know.
you. So we've learned that
Yeah.
Taylor is a sucker for the genre that's known as roguelikes, which Don't Starve falls into.
Sure. I don't know what that category is,
Doesn't
but it's
know
just
it.
like, yes, I freaking love it.
You know, I'm going to be honest with you. I didn't know what the term roguelikes meant, and I'd heard it like over the past year several times because it's kind of coming back right now.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it meant until I heard the GI show talking about Don't Starve on the podcast as a roguelike. And then I was like, oh, I know what it is now.
Bing.
That's
the
funny.
light.
Okay, but Don't Starve. I can't decide if I like it or not.
It's because you're a moron. It's
I-
amazing.
I have made my decision.
Chris doesn't like it.
Loud and clear, I do not like it.
What's wrong with it, Chris?
You freaking spend like 30 hours, not that long, but it feels like it because I feel like every day I'm like trying to just get myself fed, and then by the time I've done that, it's like my day's over. It's like, well, that kind of sucked. Like I didn't get to do anything that day. But then you do this like constantly for like the whatever 20-something days until winter comes, and it's like you take probably 2 or 3 hours doing that, and then you die, and then it's like nothing. It's all gone, and then you have to do another 2 or 3 hours to get to that point again. It's like, oh, I am sick of like I don't know. And then I also really hate how like you do some things and you finally start getting into a system of doing something, and then the game it tortures you for doing that system. Like you chop down trees that you need, and then the game gets this creature on you that starts attacking you as a giant tree. And it's like, which isn't hard to combat. You just put down more things, but you kill too many bunnies, and some creature comes after you for killing too many bunnies. It's like, oh, come on.
Chris wants his games less like life.
Yes.
Here's everything's a
Here's
trade-off and don't starve.
Exactly. Everything's a trade-off. Here's my take why Chris doesn't like it.
Well, should we give a little explanation of what it is for those who may not know?
Yes, go for it.
Probably.
So I would say it's sort of like The Sims meets Minecraft meets Dark Souls.
I
So,
like
like-
that description.
That's a good one.
It's pretty good, right? So basically, like, it goes in a series of days, a cycle of days, and each day is like 8 minutes or something.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the object of the game is to not starve. Basically, it's a survival type of thing. And so you just run around and you find resources and you like get enough stuff to craft new things and build stuff. And then you have to make sure that at night you always have light, because if you're in the dark, you'll die. And so there's just basically the Dark Souls part of it is that pretty much anything in the world can kill you pretty easily if you're not careful, including just like being careless.
Super punishing.
Yeah. That's that's the thing. Like, I like Dark Souls. Like, I enjoyed I only played a couple hours of it, but I still need to play that game because I think it looks super cool. Like, I enjoyed that, like, that kind of thing of the game, like that aspect of it, but I don't know. I just don't like it in a game like that. I don't know.
So Chris just gets bored, and then he goes and pisses off things that are too strong for him. They chase him down. He dies. And every time one of your teammates die, one of your meters, one of your things you're trying to keep steady is your sanity. Me and Ryan's sanity is just plummeting, and we're just pissed at Chris for the next 20 minutes because he's a moron for killing the wrong thing. So I think he really doesn't like it, because what it turns into is him just getting yelled at for about 20 minutes until we finally revive him.
Hey, there was one time there were killer bees. I didn't even know. I didn't know what I thought it was a big flower. I don't even touch it. I was walking by because I needed grass. It was getting nighttime. And I needed grass. There was grass next to them. There's like 5 of these giant flower things. Like, what? Whoa, what are those? And all of a sudden, there's like 50,000 bees chasing me, and they're faster than you.
No, they're not
I was
faster
like,
than
what
you.
the heck? What am I doing?
No,
Oh, it feels
no
like it.
mob in that
When you're
game is
running away
faster
from
than
those
you.
things,
If
oh,
you
it
just
feels
keep
like,
running,
oh.
nothing can catch you.
Well, maybe it's because I was running in circles, but
I think Chris was not
They
aware
catch you
of how
fast.
easy it is to just run away from things, and that seems to have caused a lot of problems early on.
Yeah, and he was a character that things that are normally neutral attack you. And
the
Right.
freaking pigs. I did nothing. He was sleeping next to a tree, and I start chopping down the tree, and all of a sudden he comes and punches me and kills me. What was that for?
The pig punch.
I chopped down your freaking shade. Is that what it was? Like, come on.
I'd be pissed if
Get
I'm
outta
taking a
here.
nap and all of a sudden somebody starts lumberjacking right next to me. Well, that sounds weird.
I guess.
That does sound weird.
Lumberjacking.
Hey, quit the lumberjacking.
Oh boy.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
So I'm sort of like between Chris and Taylor on this. Like, I think Don't Starve is kind of fun, and I've definitely had fun playing it. But like the frustration it brings is greater than the fun. And like I played Dark Souls 2, and I've played it all the way through twice, and so like I liked it enough.
Not enough to
But,
play
like,
two.
That's true. I don't want to play a Dark Souls game again, I don't think. And that's because of parts of Dark Souls that annoy me, and primarily that everything in the game is so obscure, and there's no good way to learn it on your own without like experimenting, but the game discourages you from experimenting because it punishes you so hard. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And so like and Don't Starve has the same issue where like you don't want to experiment. You don't like for the crockpot, for example. You can build a crockpot that you put different food items in, and you combine them to make a
Super
better
food.
Right. That's better than those 4 individual food items would have been
Hopefully.
individually. Hopefully. But you don't really know what you're going to get. And so you just have to experiment with it. But then you're like, do I really want to waste this thing of meat that's going to give me 40 hunger back and possibly come out with slush that's going to be useless? You know? And so like it's a learning thing, but I guess I just don't care to learn when the punishment for failing is so tough.
See, for me, it's one of those games where like I love when it's super punishing, but it feels like in so many games where it's like you can't figure it out, and so you just keep playing it because it's pissing you off at this point. And then it comes to a point where you master it, and there's like that 20 minutes that's so fun because you're beating all the enemies, and it's because you've outwitted them. But then it gets to a point where it's so easy, where it's just like, okay, this isn't fun anymore. Like, I'm not worried about dying, and that's where it comes in. But what's awesome about Don't Starve is there's different seasons. So, like, you start in fall, and it feels like we're just getting to the point where we can figure out, oh my gosh, we have enough food. Like, we're not going to starve. We have enough. We're starting to craft cooler items. We've got the next things. And then winter hits, and it's like a whole different set of rules. You're freezing to death. You can't find the same food sources. And so it's like you get that moment of elation where it's like, yeah, take that. Made in the game might be. But then it comes back and owns you. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that point in games there where you get to the point where it's like, yes, like I am at a point in this game where I've got my farm over here working, I've got cows over here I can kill and get this, I've got this over here, I can let all that work and I can go explore and do something and not worry about it. Like, I love that point of being like, yes, I'm good, I am set right now.
Right.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm with you, and those are rewarding, but I think the problem is Don't Starve doesn't bring enough of those compared to the moments of frustration. Like, for example, the seasons are so long. It was like 21 days for a season.
Yeah.
And so by the time you have fall figured out,
You've played it 5 or 6 times.
Right. And so then, like, okay, let's say we get to winter for our first time. So now we got fall down pretty good, but we're going to die as soon as we get to winter because suddenly all the rules of the game have changed. And so we die, and now we got to go 21 days back through winter. That's 8 minutes per day. That's like, what, 160 minutes? That's over 2 hours.
Yeah, I can see that.
Almost 3 hours. You know? Almost 3 hours just to get back to where you were. And hopefully you're in a better position and you've learned a few things. But 3 hours just to get back to where you were and try again, like, that's a long time. And not only that, but like the stuff you're playing for those 3 hours isn't as engaging anymore because you already know how to do it.
Yeah.
So, like, it just needs checkpoints. That's how I feel. Like, if it was like Dark Souls, where, yeah, you get killed by that boss 30,000 times in a row, but you have a bonfire right there because you already conquered everything else up to that point, I'm totally down with that.
You guys want to hear something that's going to tick both of you off?
Yes.
That mode exists.
Where you can skip seasons?
You can't.
Or where you have checkpoints?
You have checkpoints. So you can always. So there's a mode called Continuous. We've been playing Survival. There's a mode called Continuous where you can always head back to the jury-rigged portal, which is where you start off. If you go back to that, it will revive you, resurrect you every time. So you can just keep going.
We should try that.
That's probably a
We should
better
give that a shot.
thing to learn on.
Yeah, I would way be more interested in playing that game if that was the case.
All right, fine.
And then if we get really good at it, then I'm down for, like, hey, how long of a survival record can we get?
You know what's funny? In what universe does Taylor want to play the hardcore mode, the legendary all schools on, and Ryan and Chris are like, nah, let's just do the easy one. That's cool.
It's true.
Only in roguelike world does that happen.
Which reminds me, we've talked about Faster Than Light. Have either of you tried it?
I tried it once for 20 minutes or so. I didn't put a lot of time into it.
That is one of the best games because it will just run on my laptop. I love doing it when Kelly's like watching a show that I'm not super interested in. It's like I'm there, I'm with her, but I can just play this game and get owned.
Yeah.
It's good.
That was my XCOM on Android a while back.
Freaking.
But man, that was frustrating.
I quit. I love it. It was so fun, but I don't want to pay another $10 even to buy a copy for my PC because the controls were so janky.
Yeah. Do you know XCOM 2 is out now?
Yeah, I saw that, and
Yeah.
Looks like a cool game.
XCOM is fun.
I bet it is. Yeah, it's a good
I'd wait
game.
for that one to drop significantly in price, though.
It was good enough for me to deal with all the terrible controls and crappiness of playing it on a phone.
Yeah.
There was one level in particular. It's this critical moment in the story where just everything like breaks down. All the crap hits the fan, and like there's way more enemies on screen than there typically are, and there's even more allies I think on your team, and so like it's just like way more demanding. And my phone was seriously overheating and shutting down on that mission, and so like I forgot what I had to do to solve it. I think I just had to play it in like short bursts and then
Put
like,
it on a bag of ice.
back out. Yeah, like it was bad. It was bad, but I put up with it because that game is amazing. It's so fun.
That game is that one's reminds me. I'm surprised you like it so much because that one is similar. Where if you don't build the right stuff, if you don't choose the right paths, like you hit a point where you're just effed. Like you're not going to be able to.
Yeah, you definitely can, but the thing is, like, I feel like on your first time through, you kind of see that coming. You're like, oh crap, like this is not going right.
You just restart.
And you figure it out early enough that you just restart, and then you kind of have a better idea. And then you get to a point where like you can make bad decisions, but you can recover because you can just keep doing the optional missions until you make enough money. And that's what I did. Like I did a ton of optional missions just because I needed upgrades before I can move on. But
so don't starve.
was
So
fun.
what we've learned is we need to go back to continuous mode, and you guys will play with me.
we should do
again.
continuous.
I think one thing that makes me like that don't start like makes me think of Minecraft, and then I'm just like I just want to play Minecraft now because Minecraft has a huge. I'm a 12-year-old man. Minecraft's a great game. It has like so much exploration. I think it's so much fun. I love like exploring in games.
Chris
like,
definitely
the third
grew
world.
up during that phase.
Oh yes, I played Minecraft all the time when I was freaking like 15, 14.
His
15 years
Minecraft
old.
is my Pokemon.
All the freaking time.
Oh,
It
I
was
love Pokemon.
so
Right?
good.
Freak.
Right?
I don't know.
Exploring the world of Pokemon Blue and Red for the first time, that was amazing.
So good.
Oh, that's such a good game.
And I think that's
But we should.
Kate, art style on Don't Starve. I love that. I love the indie art styles. I think they're so cool.
Yeah, the art style's cool.
It's
It's a good
charming.
one.
I like it a
The
lot.
music, like
Yeah.
the whole concept. I can see why people buy their stupid, ridiculously expensive merchandise. Because you're just like, oh, Chester. I freaking love you,
I love
Chester.
Chester.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
the
what
presentation
game-
of that game is phenomenal.
The game that has better music, though, I think we can all agree, Age of Empires.
Age of Empires 2.
Okay,
Yes.
the best.
So good. Listen to that soundtrack while I'm doing work.
Okay, I have the same problem with RTS games, though, that you guys have with these ones. Where it's like,
Definitely.
you have to work like a freaking machine, just a computer. I got my build log. I just gotta go. I gotta go. My shoulders get so tense playing those dumb games. I love them, but it's like I turn into this crippled old man, like just staring at my computer, all to have somebody make an archer 2 seconds earlier than me and kills me 2 hours in. And part of that's
Yeah.
that we're not very
Yeah.
good and we can't rush and manage our economy at the same time.
Right.
But I have that problem where it's just like, freak, my fingers are cramping up because I'm hitting ASDWRY, all these hotkeys, and it just,
Yeah. I think Age of Empires is a bit of an anomaly in that circumstance. Like, most RTSs, if you're good at them, it only takes 7 to 8 minutes, I think, to get to combat time, you know?
Yeah.
And that's even if you're not rushing.
right.
But yeah, Age can take a good.
I mean, you could be into an
20,
hour
30
before
minutes.
anybody's like seriously making pushes.
Right. Especially if you're intentionally going for like Dumbos or Teutonic Knights or something, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Have you ever dropped something and then it just disappears? Like it goes into like its own void. And it is just gone.
No, but I'm guessing that's what happened to you right now.
I freaking dropped. I was playing with an eraser when we started this podcast, and I dropped it, and it is gone. I did this all the time in school too. I played with like a piece of lead or something, and I would drop it, and those are hard to find. But I'd drop it, and I'd be like looking for it for a whole class, and I cannot find this piece of lead. Like they just disappear.
Here's a quick poll: Who thinks
I think it's just
who
me.
thinks Chris did well in school? I sat there playing with
Hey,
a piece of lead.
I ended great. Oh
I hope you weren't sucking on that lead.
no.
That would make so much sense. Oh my gosh. Illumination.
Hashtag Chris explained.
Oh, that happens. That happens to me all the time. I drop something, it just literally disappears.
So
It's
should we
gone.
vote on Don't Starve? Good or not good?
Can I give it 2 freaking huge thumbs up? Love that game.
Hey, my official vote is a thumbs down overall.
I think good, but would
It
be
was-
better in what's it called?
Continuous.
Continuation.
Yeah, it was fun for me at first. Like, I really liked it. I bought Ryan a copy.
I know.
Well, I guess I bought. It comes with 2 copies, but
Yeah, maybe that's part of what factors into my better opinion of it. I got it for free.
Yeah, because it was so expensive.
well, like $7.
Yeah, it was on sale for $7 for 2 copies. Oh, it's amazing. I think it's early access still though. It's not even the release game, is it?
Yeah, it's still in early access. So
Oh wow.
just the expansion. The original Don't Starve is full.
It's pretty stable. I wouldn't say it's...
Yeah. If you're wondering about it and wanting
Yeah,
to
it's
try it
stable.
out, I would say definitely go. There's like no reason not to.
Send me a message. I'm looking for people to play.
There you go. Rage on Steam.
Yeah, man. All right.
Cool. Well, shall we go play some Siege?
Let's go play some Siege.
Instead of just talking
or
about
Don't
it.
Starve.
Oh, that'll be decided.
All right. I was trying to... It was like when you ask your... Like when you were trying to do like... what am I trying to say? When you're growing up and you wanted to have like a sleepover or something. And so you'd have
Yes.
all your friends come like, hey, Mom, can we have a sleepover? And she like felt awkward saying no in front of your friends. That's essentially
Yeah,
what I
and-
just tried to do to you guys.
You get yelled at it after.
Oh, yeah. Never turned out well,
for it,
but usually you got the
it's like
sleepover.
it was worth it.
Yes.
It was worth all night Mario Kart 64. Let me tell you, Mom.
GoldenEye.
Oh, GoldenEye.
Yeah.
Freak yes. Smash 64.
Of course. Fusion Frenzy.
Oh, those were
The demo.
gosh,
The
Fusion
demo.
Frenzy demo.
Fusion Frenzy demo on Halo.
Fusion Frenzy demo on Halo CE.
Oh, man. All right.
All right, that's the podcast. That was fun.
That was fun.
Come back for episode 2.
Bye.
Catch you guys later.
Adios. Just goodbye.
Oh wait, we should do some plugs.
Okay. What kind of plugs?
You can just edit this in post. But hey, if you want to watch us playing some of these games, me and Taylor share a channel. I'm usually the one streaming on it. That's VG Fiasco on YouTube.
That's for everybody's benefit, by the way. I'm just there for
Yeah.
comedic relief, but I'm not that funny.
Maybe we should have you stream Don't Starve though.
Yeah, I like that.
That's a good idea.
Not a bad idea.
And you can find Chris.
The Just Hello on YouTube. Just search Just Hello. Then
Just Hello.
3 O's.
With 3
You'll
O's.
find me.
If you come to a channel with a crap ton of Minecraft, you have come to the right
You
place.
found the right one.
Or if that's too hard, just go to VG Fiasco and you will easily find Chris from us.
Yeah.
All right. That's a podcast.
Thanks, guys.
Come back for episode 2. Catch you later.